All right, so we had the first press conference yesterday for Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. Now, this is part of two press conferences that are going to be happening this week. So, yesterday being Tuesday, it was up in Manchester, and that was the kickoff one. Now, that one was in front of, well, everybody. So, it was open to the public. It's not often they open press conferences to the public, they normally do it for only the really big fights. I think maybe AJ. I think at least maybe one of AJ's fight. It might have been, I can't even remember which fight it was, but there was one fight where I think AJ, I know he's done a couple of weigh-ins in Westfield over in Shepherd's Bush, but I think he did a press conference to the public there as well for one of his big world title fights. But for the most part, they're normally media only, and they're doing one on Thursday. That'll be media only as well, so it's going to be interesting to see the Thursday press conference because it's pretty much going to be primarily about the fallout from this one. So, look, Eubank versus Benn. I've said this before about this fight, that when it was announced originally, as in 2 years ago, nearly three now, that at the time I was kind of like, okay, let's see what happens. And as we got closer to the fight, I started to kind of get more into it. I did. I got more into it, and I was thinking, you know what? It might be a bit of fun. It might be interesting to see. I can't remember if they did they even announce an undercard for that fight. I'm pretty sure they did, but I can't recall it being a memorable one, to say the least, because obviously that's all we ever talk about is the main event. So the fight got binned for obvious reasons, we all know. And Conor Benn is still saying that he's been, proven innocent and this, that, and the other. No, Conor Benn, you haven't. At the end of the day, when he mentions the WBC, I mean, the WBC proved themselves to be absolutely farcical in that situation when Conor Benn, you may remember, was saying, well, this is the reason it was in my system. The WBC basically said, well, we don't think that the reason you're given is right. We think it's this reason. And Team Benn were just like, okay, go with that. It's just, you can't make this crap up, insert another word there for crap. But yeah, there was that. So then we get to this point in, well, both guys' respective careers where they announce this fight. It just seems that this is the fight that no matter what's been before, because they've tried to do this fight before, they tried to do it in Zero. They've tried to do this fight loads of times, and it just seemed no matter what, it was never going to happen. But then it was announced that it's going to happen, and I think for me, the first time they announced it, it was just a bit of a kind of, oh, wasn't expecting that. Whereas now, a lot of people have said this has been a forced fight, and in many ways it has. And I've said this before about every sport, not just boxing, that things in boxing, whether it be fights, whether it be big names, superstars, it's normally a very natural process. Some fights, they just get made, they turn into absolute, amazing fights, this, that, and the other. And there's no real, sometimes it's unplanned. Other times, you match two people together, you think, oh, it could be good, and, a bit like Gaddy Ward, and it becomes more than you ever could have imagined. Very seldom is a fight really forced like this, or very seldom is, say like a big name in boxing or any sport. Very rare are they forced down people's throats, and that tends to work, I always say things just tend to flow naturally, and this fight definitely hasn't flowed naturally. It's been nearly 3 years in the making. It's just been, this is what we want to do, blah, 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 blah. Never mind Eubank going for a world title, never mind Benn going for a world title, just put these guys together, never mind anything else, let's just make this fight. And now we're here. And I think it's lost, maybe to the casual audience, it hasn't lost any zest, but I think maybe to the hardcore audience, those who were somewhat keen on this fight, maybe it has lost a little bit of something with them. Nevertheless, the press conference happened. Eubank Jr. did a good job really shutting Eddie Hearn down. Conor Benn did what he did. I think one of the funniest things Benn came out with, and he was like, well, no one likes Chris Eubank Jr. His own dad doesn't even like him, because where is he? And obviously there's been documented tension and issues going on between Eubank Jr. and Eubank Sr. We hope they can resolve them. But that was kind of the main points of the press conference. Eddie Hearn, basically having to, I don't want to say bend the knee to Chris Eubank Jr., but he really shut him down. He really shut him down in that press conference. He's with Jonathan Banks and Ronnie Davis in this fight. Ronnie Davis is a long-time member of Team Eubank. He's had some issues with him in the past, I think, as well. but, well, not really issues, but, he's not listening to him and this, that, and the other. So his corner's changed again, even though last time he was with, not last time, what was it last time? But he was with Beaumac before, and I thought he did actually very, very well with Beaumac. He's very good with him. So, changed to the team again, and that's really that. We get to the face-to-face, and, Conor Benn is in Chris Eubank Jr.'s face. He's saying whatever, and Chris Eubank Jr. proceeds to slap Conor Benn. Although we didn't see it until there was a big splash, he had an egg in his hand. So, remember when Don Charles was saying, or Derek Chisora, he glassed me? No, he egged me. He quite literally egged you. He really did. And Conor Benn, he didn't take kindly to that. Took about 4 security guards to hold him back. Like, he was not best pleased, to say the least, with Chris Eubank Jr. on that one. I have to say, that kind of, I did laugh at that, and I did when I was watching it, I was thinking, if you needed to sell this fight and you were wondering how you're going to sell it, you've just done it there. That's done it. That sold this fight, I think, to the casual audience. And it might have, maybe not sold it to the hardcore, but I think a lot more hardcore will be taking note. It's going to be interesting to see now on Thursday the fallout from this, because I can imagine primarily that's going to be the discussion, that's going to be the talking point, is the fallout from this egg incident. Let's call it that. He egged me. And that's going to be the interesting part. I can imagine, because maybe Eubank Jr. had it concealed in his pocket. Oh, I think security's going to be on hand to make sure you have no eggs on you this time, mate. But yeah, that was kind of the main talking point of this press conference. It was a bit of a meh press conference with a big ta-da moment at the end. That's really kind of how you could say it. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Looking forward to Thursday's one to see what happens there, to see the fallout from that. Will it be as lively as this one? Remains to be seen. I doubt it. I think security will be on hand for that one. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Has this made you more interested in the fight? Has it made you think, okay, they've sold me? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Until next time, people, I hope you enjoyed it. Peace.